Was Henry VIII actually a mad king, or just acting like a typical Renaissance king? When we picture Henry, we imagine the big angry guy with the beard, the wives, and the executions. We remember him as the king who literally changed England's religion so he could get a divorce. It sounds unhinged, but was he really a tyrant gone wild, or just doing what kings did back then? Let's dig into it in this episode of Historical Reputations, Earned or Not. Here's the thing. Henry wasn't always the scary, paranoid tyrant we picture. Young Henry was a Renaissance dream prince, tall, athletic, educated, charming, and talented. He wrote music, he jousted, and he hosted lavish parties. Contemporary reports described him as the handsomest prince in Christendom. Perhaps a bad jousting accident in his 40s changed him. We know he lived with chronic pain, his health declined, and his temper got shorter. That's when we start seeing the moody, paranoid, dangerous Henry, the one who executed friends, ministers, and even wives. But was that madness unique? Not really. Plenty of kings cracked under pressure. France had Charles the Mad. Russia had Ivan the Terrible. Henry might have been scary, but he wasn't even the most terrifying monarch of his own century. Henry's biggest claim to fame is breaking from the Pope and creating the Church of England. Bold, right? But he wasn't first. Martin Luther had already set Europe on fire with the Reformation, and Swedish King Gustav Vasa had broken with Rome years earlier. Even before that, monarchs across Europe were slowly taking more control of their churches. Henry's move was dramatic, but also very on trend for 16th century rulers trying to centralize power. The divorce from Catherine of Aragon wasn't his only motivation. He didn't want to share power with the Pope, and he and his court gained from plundered church assets. So if he wasn't the first rebel king and not uniquely mad, why do we still talk about him? Because Henry VIII turned politics into theater. 6 marriages, public trials, star-crossed queens, best friends executed. He made his personal life into a national drama. And unlike other kings, his break from Rome stuck. England didn't go back, at least not for long. That meant Henry's midlife crisis had long-term consequences, shaping religion, politics, and identity for centuries to come. So was Henry VIII mad? Maybe a little, but mostly he was just a Renaissance king doing what Renaissance kings did, grabbing power, rewriting the rules, and making himself the main character. And whether we like it or not, his choices became the prequel to our own history. Without Henry, there would be no Elizabeth I, no Anglican Church, maybe no British Empire, and no America as we know it. If you like history that cuts through the myth and looks at the messy reality, hit like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments, do you think Henry was mad? Or was the king just doing the job he'd been bred to do?